Hi, this is John Reed. You might be wondering why I'm wearing a green Celtics hat in this video. Two reasons. One, I am having a pretty bad hair day today, I have to admit, and I'm not quite ready to show you what's under here. But second, it is the NBA playoffs, and I am a Celtics fan. But third, this hat is green, and green often represents the feeling we have when we're trying to break into new fields and we can't get a break. And that brings us to the topic of today's video, which is SAP training. And the thing about SAP training that's really difficult is that when we talk about training, we're talking about training and certification. And the two are not the same. You can get all kinds of training in SAP, but it's not the same as being certified. And so people will ask me, well, if I could get training, can I get a job? And the answer is, well, it really depends. Training is rarely the deciding factor that a hiring manager takes into account before they hire you for a new position. At the same time, it often helps to have a knowledge advantage over other applicants. You just have to be careful about how you present yourself. If you have the audacity to imply that you are just as good as an experienced SAP person because you have some training, it doesn't necessarily go over that well. So you have to learn how to present things in somewhat of a humble way. But as far as certification is concerned, yes, I think certification does matter more than simply training itself. And certification is essentially an exam. The thing is that usually you take the training from SAP and then the certification to be confident that the training you get is going to prepare you for the exam in a proper manner. But yes, certification does carry a little more weight than simply, oh, I got some training somewhere. But again, certification is often not enough to break into SAP. However, it can be a great way to expand your knowledge base once you are in the SAP field and to give you a little bit of additional edge. The bottom line is there's all kinds of training you can acquire now. You can get online training. Michael Management is a well-respected firm in the online training world. There's many places where you can go to get training and or system access. I have more of them in a directory on my johnerp.com site. So there's a lot of training options to choose from, and many times what's going to dictate what you're going to do is based on the kind of SAP knowledge you're looking to acquire. And the best way to go about that is to pick an area of SAP that directly relates to what you currently do. A lot of times people say, well, I'm technical now, and I'm not sure if I can become, a functional SAP person. Well, maybe not, but maybe you can get more technical training and then get into SAP as a developer. Or I'll hear business people saying, I don't know if I have the technical skills to get into SAP, and I'll tell them, you actually don't need heavy technical skills right now. What you do need is more SAP financial knowledge. So remember, no matter where you come from in your background, there's probably something that connects to SAP. And that's the area of SAP you're best off pursuing in your training and continuing education. Because think about it like this. If you have 5 years of accounting and finance experience, why would you try to go into CRM just because it's hot? A lot of times people chase the hottest area of SAP or what they think is hot. What they don't realize is what really impresses hiring managers is depth of experience in a particular area. So those kinds of decisions can help you to select the right kind of training for your background, whether it's online or in-person training. And the thing I would suggest about training is to think of it less as, I'm going to use this to find a job tomorrow versus this is going to have a positive long-term impact on my career. If you're serious about being a consultant, you do need to continually invest in enhancing your skills. And SAP training can play a role in that. SAP certification can play a role in that. And basically it's going to come down to what kind of budget you have, what kind of time you have, and what your long-term career goals are. But remember, SAP is a career path. It's not something that you can get rich quick anymore. That was the 90s. That's not today. That's not what's happening out there. SAP can be a very rewarding career, but the one thing all the best SAP professionals have in common, the ones that I see making the best rates and going from project to project and having success, they all have a passion for SAP and they have a depth of experience in a particular area. I can think about a logistics guy I know who's been doing logistics for years and moving from different things like RF to RFID to supply chain management, but always with a logistics focus. Or you think about someone who's always been in business intelligence and business consolidation, and they moved through legal consolidation, but they were always in that area of finance and business intelligence. The list goes on and on. So pick an area you're really passionate about, make it your own, and if you do that, eventually you'll find success in SAP. and training could play a role, but it's not the only factor.